There's a video circulating on the internet that shows a man getting struck by lightning twice. The question is the footage real, or has it been altered or faked? Well, it's a fake, and I'll show you why. Let's take a look at the source footage. Here a man is running through the street, and bam! He gets struck by lightning. Let's take a look, frame by frame, of the lightning strike. Looks pretty authentic, doesn't it? But if you look closer, you'll see that it's really not. Let's take a step back one frame. Notice the lighting conditions. The main light source that's illuminating this scene is somewhere below the security camera. Notice the shadow on the van, and also the shadow on the man who gets struck by lightning. This indicates that it's coming from somewhere below the security camera. Also important is to notice the highlights in the trees. Here and here. Also notice that it's gray up here where there's very little light, and even darker in the background where this light source in our scene is not reaching, either because it's too low or it's simply not bright enough. If we step one frame forward at the point of the lightning strike, you'll notice that the scene has really just become brighter. Notice how the whites have bloomed out and become overexposed. The midtones are still there but lighter, and the dark areas are still very dark. Two interesting things to note is that the shadow on the van is still present. Do you think this shadow would still be there with a light source as incredible as a lightning bolt? I don't think so. Also notice there's no illumination on the tops of the trees, yet lightning illuminates throughout the entire length of the bolt. Therefore, light should be coming down from the bolt and up and in all directions, illuminating the entire scene. So let's skip forward to the second lightning strike. I want you to remember this image and the lighting conditions. Let's step through the frames, and you'll see here he gets struck again. But notice how the scene is practically identical to the previous lightning strike. In fact, the shadows for the van still in the very same position. Kind of ironic considering that the lightning's over here and it should be illuminating this area. The lighting on the trees, still indicating that there's a light source coming from beneath the security camera, not an incredibly bright lightning bolt. And again, the tops of the trees in the background, none of this is affected. In fact, you don't even see a reflection of the lightning in any of the metal parts of the cars. Yet, right here, we can still see the blooming of the light source that's illuminating this scene originally. Let's step back one frame. And there you can see it. I would suspect that a lightning bolt would have a reflection of some sorts, but it just doesn't. At least not in this faked video. Let's go back to the original lightning strike, the first one, and let's step through until we get the lightning strike, and we'll take a screenshot of this frame, and then we'll take a screenshot of this frame. Let's bring them both in Photoshop side by side. Okay, we're now in Photoshop. And there are our two imported images, the lightning strike on the left and the frame directly afterwards on the right. Let's see what we can do to make the two images look very similar. So let's use the simple levels adjustment tool. I'm only going to apply the levels adjustment to the image on the right. We'll take the top slider, the white point slider. Let's move it in. What this does is it takes the white points and it lowers the whitest point available. As we keep going, we can start seeing the blooming of the whites. And right here, you have an image that's surprisingly close to the image on the left, the faked footage. As you can see, the whites and lights just get brighter. The shadows don't disappear. Notice the truck shadow is still there. The tops of the trees, which aren't illuminated much at all, still gray. Gray back here, dark back here. At this point, we really just need to add a fake lightning bolt, and we have man getting struck by lightning once. I'm not going to bore you with the details on the second strike, since they're identical. All you have to do is add some fake lightning, which is easy enough to do, and you've got yourself one faked video. And that's pretty much it.